Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Before you start typing away on your keyboard saying, "This is a late guide, MrRoflWaffles," just pause for a sec. The reason that I'm posting this a few days after everyone else is that I wanted to make sure it was as low on the nonsense count as possible, and so I waited a little bit longer to make it more complete. Please don't give me too much heat for it. So, today we're going to be upgrading the Hell's Retriever into the Hell's Redeemer on Blood of the Dead. When you upgrade the Retriever, your Redeemer is going to be blue instead of red. You'll also be able to charge it up for 3 pulses instead of 2, so that's when you're kind of holding the Retriever out and it sends out that kind of red burst around you. The Redeemer has 3 of those. It should kill more zombies and generally just be a bit more of an effective weapon against the undead. So far, the Redeemer is not necessary for any particular Easter egg steps, but that may change in the future, but it doesn't hurt to have the Redeemer in your game, and it's pretty easy to do. Also, if you're doing the main quest Easter egg, you need to burn through rounds anyway, and so you basically have the perfect opportunity to get this thing. So, first of all, how do you get the Retriever again? Well, that's filling the 3 dog heads around the map. The first one is in the new industries area, the second is in the center of the prison itself, in the cell block 2nd floor, as it's called, underneath where Cherry used to be, and then finally the third is in the Eagle Plaza. I did not know that was the name of that area, outside the Warden's house. Once you fill the 3 dog heads, go and take the fast travel between the Warden's house and the showers. You can take it from either direction, and the Hell's Retriever will be waiting for you. Cool. We're all up to date, on the same page. Now we have the weapon that we actually want to upgrade. Come to the catwalk and start hoarding zombies around this little slope here. Now, you can do this on the other end of the catwalk too, as an example, but this seems to be the most consistent place for this to work. Try to get your zombies bunched up at the bottom of the slope, and then when you're at the top of the slope, chuck your Retriever down the hill. You should see a blue effect on the zombies, and that's how you know that this is working. You won't get blue Retriever kills anywhere else on the map, and typically this works most often facing down this slope, like I've said. You'll get those blue Retriever kills, and after a couple of rounds or so, you should end up hearing a wolf howl. That is the signal that you have got enough of your Retriever kills, and you're now ready to try and find dog heads. Now, this is the part of the guide that I decided to pause on for a few days and make sure that I was making as comprehensive as possible, because pretty much everyone else's guides that I've seen on YouTube so far are missing doghead locations. To actually locate the dogheads, what you need to do is build the shield. I have a full guide for that on my channel if you need one, but it's pretty straightforward. And then you need to go into spectral vision by holding left trigger or L2. Come to the catwalk and look in the following locations. Right at the bottom of your shield view is a possible doghead spawn. This one has been missed out by a lot of people, but it comes up fairly often in my games, and it's really difficult to see, so this should probably be one of the first ones that you check. Then, if you swing around to your right, there's another possible spawn just here on this wall. This one, again, can actually be surprisingly tricky to spot if you're looking at it from the wrong angle, so make sure you've swung around the corner before you try and look at this one. There's another possible spawn up to the left here. You've got all this kind of corrugated metal, and this one again, surprise, surprise, can be a little difficult to spot if you're in the wrong place, so you'll want to sort of scoot along the catwalk and keep looking out to your left there towards those sheets of metal, and you should see it. And then if you look to your right here, there's another possible spawn kind of overlooking above the lava and around the rubble that is kind of immersed in the lava and stuff like that. You'll then want to come all the way through to the Citadel part of the map, where the triple doghead indicator is to tell you your Hell's Retriever progress. Look through this crack in the wall where this little fencing is, and on the right-hand side, there's a possible spawn. There's also a possible spawn on the left-hand side, so just rotate a little bit, take a look against the wall, and you should be able to see it on the far wall there. Then, if you do a 180-degree turn, you should see another really easy, obvious spawn right there against that wall. Then, come through to the Warden's office. If you still don't have your doghead, you're going to want to look down here against the rubble, and this one is really tricky if you're at the wrong angle, so bear that in mind. Swing all the way along that right wall and keep looking against that rubble. And then just there on the sheet metal once again, or just to the left of it, you should have another possible doghead spawn. When you find the doghead spawn in your game, you need to throw your Tomahawk at it, and you will then lose your Tomahawk. You'll get it back in a little bit, because obviously we're upgrading it, but for now it's going to be gone. You should hear a noise as well, and the doghead will light up. It's important to note that because this is Black Ops 4 we're talking about, not all the textures in the game appear straight away when you enter an area of the map. And so I've had situations where I've looked through all these locations for the dog heads. I've not seen my head in any of the spawns. And then I'll go back through them all, and it will be in one of the spots that I've already checked. There's a good chance this could happen to you as well, so be very diligent about making sure you've been in an area for a reasonable amount of time before you start looking through your spirit vision to try and find your dog head to Tomahawk. It's also worth trying just throwing the Tomahawk at all the locations anyway, because sometimes this can trigger it to work. You don't actually necessarily need the spirit shield, that's just telling you where you should be looking. If you, in your game, end up getting a new spawn that is not listed in this guide, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will add it to a list in the description so we have all of the spawn points included in this video's metadata, so you guys can check those out and 100% do this every single time. I think I have all of them here, but I want to be 100% for you guys. Once you've thrown that Tomahawk and it's kind of burned away and you're back to your regular grenades, you're going to need to wait till your next dog round. Make sure you've got a shield, and make sure you have a shield blast by sucking 3 zombie souls up with the key. You need to run around, and I kid you not, the entire map looking for a spirit dog holding a redeemer in its mouth. The spirit dog will be walking around, and you won't have to 100% of the time be in spirit vision in order to see it, because sometimes in regular vision, you can see the effect of its footsteps as it's walking through puddles and things like that. However, really, you should be looking around for this thing in spirit vision, because otherwise it can be really hard to see. It can be all the way across the map in the original spawn area, like it can actually walk around that room, and then it can walk up the stairs and go down into New Industries. It can go through the corridor between New Industries and First Power. It can be all over the prison as well, in the warden's office. That's a very common spot. It's also quite often just chilling out when you're going down towards the showers. Also, in the entrance to the prison, when you first get in there from the catwalk, it can quite often be right outside the cafeteria. That's a common one too. And another good one to check is the stairway between the second dog head and the location where Electric Cherry used to be, and now there's a buildables bench up there. Dogs can quite often get stuck on those stairs, and so that's definitely one that you should just double check in your game in case you can't find your dog. Bear in mind that all your teammates can look for the dog for you as well, but there'll probably be only one dog on the map at a time, and so if you're all trying to upgrade your dog on the same round, you'll need to find 4 separate dogs, one after the other. Remember as well that sometimes those textures just don't stream in, and so if you can't see it in your game, don't worry, you should be okay on the next dog round. Your progress will be kept, you might just have to wait a bit because the game can be a bit buggy that way. Once you find your dog in spirit vision, shield blast it and it should die. Now be careful not to also end the round with that same spirit blast, that can cause this to glitch out. You're going to want to try and make sure that you have other dogs available ready to be killed later on, but you're spirit blasting the spirit dog first, and then as soon as you've done that, the Redeemer will be available to be picked up from the original location that you picked the Retriever up from. I'll have a bunch of gameplay on screen here of me using the Redeemer so you can get a feel for what it looks like and how powerful it is in-game. I've heard a lot of discussion from people saying that they actually think that the Redeemer is not quite as cool as they were hoping, and so I wouldn't be surprised if Treyarch buffs it in the near future to give it a little bit more firepower and make it a bit more of an attractive upgrade for your game. I think it's pretty cool though, I really like the blue effect, and I feel like I've had a better time with this thing trying to take out random dog spawns, for example, compared to the regular Retriever. It just seems like it's been a bit more effective for me, but definitely let me know about your experiences in the comments down below, because you never know, Treyarch might be watching this video looking for some feedback, and you might be the person to give it to them. In just a second, I'm going to chuck some gameplay on screen for some of my other guides for Blood of the Dead, including my main quest Easter egg guide. I'd really appreciate if you could drop a like on this video first of all, and then feel free to check out those other videos and get yourself some other cool things upgraded on the map, like the shield, for example, because the shield upgrade is really useful. For now, I've been MrRoflWaffles. This has been a close enough to no-nonsense guide. I've done my best to make sure that this was as clear as possible and that I included all of the spawns on the map. Like I said, if you need more, check description. Thanks for watching, hit that bell to turn on notifications, and I'll see you guys very soon in more Black Ops 4 Zombies videos. Bye for now.
How hard could it possibly be?